Kathy Harris and Gwynne Wilcox have been fired from 2 government agencies. They went to federal, unelected, black-robed, tyrannical, inferior district trial court judges who issued orders and summary judgment. They just win. No trial needed. Issued orders to Donald Trump that he had to reinstate these 2 women. Donald Trump appealed that to the Court of Appeals, a 3-judge panel. One, the Court of Appeals stayed or paused the order to reinstate these women. And then they appealed en banc to the entire 11-judge Court of Appeals, which has a population of 7 liberals and 4 conservatives. So it's no surprise how that went. By 7-4, the en banc Court of Appeals agreed to stay the stay of the 3-judge panel. So these women were hired back again. And then Trump went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court stayed the stay of the stay. So now the women are out again. This is why courts should not be involved in these kind of policy discussions, because it becomes this utterly chaotic and politically driven. So that's what happened in the firing cases. The White House, Trump had to go all the way to SCOTUS, and he got a stay of a stay of a stay, the effect of which is that the order to reinstate Kathy Harris and Gwynne Wilcox is not in effect. They're out of office while this case will be litigated, presumably before the Supreme Court, whether Trump can lawfully fire those 2 women. Now, since all this was happening, we had a decision out of California where 16,000 people had been fired, and a federal judge in California decided he had the authority to order Trump to reinstate all 16,000 of those people. And the Supreme Court just came down a couple days ago, I think it was April 8th, 2 days ago, came down with an order to the judge saying, no, you can't order that. These people are going to stay fired while we litigate this. You can't order the White House to reinstall them. Well, the White House immediately got that order from the Supreme Court about the California firing case of 16,000 probationary federal employees, and they mailed it to the clerk of the Court of Appeals in the Fourth Circuit, where these 24,000 fired probationary federal employees are being asked to be reinstalled. In other words, telling the current Court of Appeals, the en banc group that might rehear this decision, this stay, this reinstallation of these 24,000, informing, as if they didn't already know, that, hey, just want you to know, the Supreme Court already heard an essentially identical case out of California and ruled against the reinstatement of those 16,000. So what do you think the Supreme Court's going to do if you try to reinstate 24,000 in Maryland?